to do another live reading for you guys, showing my face here. I want to check my audio really quick and see what we've got. There we go. Just want to be sure my audio is okay. I am kind of interesting reading here, which is going to be using my seeds and my handmade bridge deck, and I might be just pulling things as kind of like a freestyle as I see fit, and I'm just gonna pull some charms to get us kind of going and see what I get for the charms as well. So before I jump in, I do want to let everybody know I'm doing a buy one get one free special, meaning you can pay for a reading and then refer somebody, and they will be eligible for a free 30-minute reading. And all they need to do is pay for their overtime. So essentially, the first 30 minutes is free, and then after that, they would just pay for their overtime if they went into overtime, which there's no obligation to do so at all. So it's basically buy one get one free, and it has to be for somebody else. It can't be just for yourself. The idea is I'd like to reach more people. I'd like to reach more clients and read for more people. So that's the reason I'm doing this special. I don't know how long I'm going to be doing that for. Hopefully I'm going to get to posting that on my website today. And I do want to remind everybody that I am still doing private readings, and if you want to just book for yourself, that's fine. But if you booked, then you would be eligible to gift somebody a free reading, which is always nice. The holidays are coming up. They could use it later in time. It's up to them. Doesn't have to be immediate. I do like to book quite quickly, so I prefer it if they booked, relatively quickly, but obviously I can't control that. So it's up to you and them how you guys want to do it. So yeah, I am going to jump in. I'm just going to pull some charms, see what I get. That's to start us off and kind of go from there. Let's see. Some of you, the first thing I'm seeing is some of you, those of you who have children, because we have this, one of my starfish popped out. If you have children, you might be having a little bit of a difficult time with them. They might be very fussy at this time, maybe not sleeping. They could even be older, where maybe you have some challenges. Maybe it could be even high school age. I'm seeing like high school challenges sometimes. For some, I hate to say this, but it could be like bullying or something like at school that they're trying to deal with, that you have to deal with. Could be grades. Some of you, those of you who are in school, I feel like there's a lot of emotion and stress around it. Like, I feel like it's very, very challenging at this time. It's almost like my guide is actually showing me this. This is going to sound very strange. In the cloud, the shape of like it looks like it looks like this piece of cement that you kind of hammer onto to let's just say if you were to like be like a metalsmith or something like that, you would hammer onto this, hammer the thing onto this like, I don't know, cement piece. I don't know what that would be, but like that to me, it's sort of like this is all very formulative, and basically it's saying like you're being forged, you're being, there's some kind of formula reason like behind whatever you're going through. So let's just say they're going through something. There's a reason behind this for their growth, for your growth. For some of you, it's you that's going through a time where you're being forged into the person that you're going to become, in the sense that like you're growing a lot, you're learning a lot, maybe about yourself, maybe about others, and there's like this intense energy that's kind of making you into who you're becoming. It's very intense. That's what I want to say. And it's not easy. And I feel like for some, you might feel like either a little bit lost or just like, and they might be a little bit lost. It's funny because we have this piece that says adventure awaits, and it has this arrow, and it reminds me of one of those signs, like at camp, they have those signs, okay, like the lake is this way and the cabins are this way and food is this way, and it's direction. So it's like some of you, it's maybe, yeah, it's leading you or guiding you to where you're getting to next. That's what I want to say. That's the energy here. I also feel that one of the first things that actually came out, which I like to see, which is really cool, is the pennies that I have in my charm bag are found pennies. They're not just like pennies that I got as change for something. They're pennies that I literally found out in the neighborhood. So if I find pennies, I'll put them in my charm bag to represent unexpected cash, unexpected coins, unexpected, like finding unexpected money or money coming to you unexpectedly. And who doesn't like unexpected money? So to me, this is one of the blessings here. But I did want to go back to this adventure awaits charm just for a second, because this usually also indicates travel of some kind. It does indicate trying to figure out the direction that you're going, trying to find your way. And it's not easy to find your way at this time on this planet. I feel like some of you are very distracted. You have a lot of people around you. Maybe not a lot, but there's distractions. And who doesn't really have distractions? We all kind of have distractions. But there's people around you that... it could be like people that you're texting. It could be people just, around where you live, where you work, that are distractions. From you, go, on your path. It's funny because I actually feel like 2023, the year of 2023, has been very interesting as far as me feeling like normally I would say like I'm like this arrow. I'm very straight arrow. But this year has felt kind of like a detour. Has felt like it's full of detours. Has felt like I haven't recognized myself at times. I haven't acted like my normal self at times. I don't filter as much as I might have in the past. I was transparent before, but now I'm like really transparent. I don't know how to describe it, but it's sort of like for some of you, you might also have people that are questioning like you, like who you are and what you're doing and what you're all about. Because that to me, it's like you could be a straight arrow. You could be like, here's me showing up in the world, but then other people are like, who are you and what are you doing and what are you about, and questioning. And I it's very interesting. I came across this person. I reached out, to someone in the community, in my old community from back home recently. And I talked to him, and it was like, he understood everything that I was saying. There was no confusion. It was purely like the best articulation I've ever heard from somebody else, understanding and grasping what I was going through. And he made me feel reminded me of that arrow, of that inner compass, that inner person that I am. And it's only the people in life, I have to say, that make us feel like we're off our path, or that bring out a side of us that maybe isn't us, or bring out an experience that we don't really want to experience, or make us go through something hard. So some of you, that's the case for some of you, like where you might not have either felt like yourself, or you might be dealing with people who bring out the worst, or bring out something in you that makes you feel like you're not on track or you're not on your path or you don't even feel like you. You know, it's so funny. And I don't know if I said this recently, but there's this part in the old 1961 movie The Parent Trap where she says, "I'm so glad that you're here and you're you." And I really like that. I like that amount of acceptance, and you know, for people to be like, yeah, um, I don't know how to explain it, like accepting of you and you feeling like, you know, people are welcoming you, people are celebrating you, people are happy that you're you, happy that you're of the whoever you are in the world. I guess that's the only way to say it. We do have this love charm, which is you know, very fascinating. It's showing up in the center of this, you know, all these charms here. And to me, there is a lot of focus on either a person, romantic partner, or it could be someone that you really, really care about. This could be also having heart-based conversations, heart-based relationships, you know, taking care of your heart, taking care of like what's really close to you. You know, you think of the heart, and you think, okay, what's most important, what's really close, what's and your heart is like is your life, is your blood, is everything. So like to me it's like for some of you, you need to value your life. You need to value just being alive. And some of you need to work on taking better care of your health, whether it's your blood pressure, your blood sugar, you know, anything to do with circadian. I don't know why I'm hearing this. Anything to do with circadian rhythms. We also have this piece of cloth that I got that says love on it. It has this butterfly. And eventually I'm going to do only cloth readings where it's going to be where I pull like a whole bunch, and I'm really excited. I haven't completed it yet, but like a whole bunch of pieces of cloth out of a bag and seeing what I get. And it's, to me, it's like nobody else has it. And so I'm really excited to do it when I finish my collection. But they're just pieces. This is a piece of cloth and it says love and it has this little butterfly. But it's interesting that it came out right next to this red heart here. And I find it fascinating that we've got, you know, two things that talk about love. And I like to see, like, especially when you know, I do anything on YouTube. Because YouTube to me, I don't know. I feel like YouTube has a lot of distraction elements in the sense that people aren't necessarily focused on love. They might be focused on career. They might be focused on cheating situations, you know, ex situations, but they're not necessarily focused on love. And for those of you who are in this reading or watching this, I feel like there is an element this period of time where you're going to be focused on it. And some of you are romantics. And some of you do need to kind of like romanticize your life a little bit and focus more on romance. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be in a romantic partnership, although when you're focused on it, most likely you're going to be attracting it. So I would say if you don't have a person, I feel like this is attracting in your person. And for those of you who are trying to figure out if there's a person in your life, let's just say hypothetically that you're thinking about, that you really care about, I want to say that they love you in return. That's something that I want to say. But I also want to say that they are like your person. And you might not think of them as your person, but to me, they are your person. That's what's coming through here. I want to say reach out to friends at this time. Reach out to friends. Work on your friendships. We have the white moth charm, which has a moth friend on it, and I have a moth friend in spirit, and to me the moth friend has been transformational in the way I think of kind of making it through time. You know what I'm saying? Because moths and butterflies all have this transformational life cycle. And in spirit, they're capable of doing things that are not possible for other beings because of it. So it's very special, very unique. You might have some very special friends or make some very special friends at this time. You might feel more close to a friend. Like you might actually like develop some kind of relationship with a friend, someone that's been maybe just a friend, maybe taking things to the next level. I see that for some of you, but I also feel like, to me, there's this thing about people needing to understand that in spirit, a lot of different things are possible than in real life. Like we perceive, okay, like it's only possible for me to put so many eggs in a frying pan, right? But in spirit, you can put as many eggs in the frying pan as you want. There's no real limits on it. So it's just you, I don't know, like some of you, I feel like there's a shift in perspective that's going to be happening for you. Either understanding spirit better or shift in perspective as far as your limitations. Shift in perspective as far as what's limiting you, or shift in perspective of how you're going to become who you're meant to become, if that's what makes sense. Because going back to that starfish here, I feel like some of you are very much on track to working on that. I want to say working on that, or several steps, only several steps away from that. That's what I want to say. The only thing that I don't particularly like this charm, and I really want to get rid of it, but I think it's important because there's different speeds. Everybody moves at different speeds, and sometimes things can feel like they're moving really slowly. And for the last 3 days, it's felt like really slow. And we have this turtle here, which to me represents things moving slowly. Not necessarily being able to just go grab what you need or just go get what you need. It's, to me, when the moon is in Taurus, okay, moon's in Taurus, it's really hard to leave the house, okay, for me. So, like, for some of you, you might feel like at this time that things are not moving as quickly as you'd like, or that it's a struggle to just move through time in a way that makes you feel like you're getting a lot done, or that you're as productive as maybe you normally would. Also, money can move more slow with this turtle here. But I don't necessarily feel that it's just money that's moving slowly. I want to say time might be moving slowly. Time itself. You might feel like, I've talked about this and it's weird. Like my guide said the word paused. And it's funny because all last year, everybody felt paused. All last year, it was like the word paused. I can't even tell you, came up so much in my readings, in life. I just felt like all last year, that was it. So some of you might feel paused. You might feel literally like, what is going on? Like, why are things not moving? Or like, why are things not happening? Or like, like it's just like the universe is like, press the pause button. You're like, okay, what, WTF, But also that word paused, for some people, is kind of a way to kind of say that they're not necessarily moving forward in a way that they can perceive as easy. So it feels like they can't get the job that they want, or they can't, get take the class that they want. Like when I was in school, it was always like, I can't get into the classes that I want. So I have to end up taking these other classes, which is sort of very frustrating because it wasn't the ones that I needed or the ones that I wanted. So again, I always say there's kind of two different ways to look at that paused energy. Some of you might feel paused, like time's moving slowly, or like things are not going the way you want them to go. Or like you're not getting what you want for whatever reason. You're maybe not getting, things going the way you want them to go. And then for some, money's moving slowly, but I don't feel like that's going to be the case forever, and I don't think that's everyone. Okay, so we had a third teardrop come out. I call these like teardrops. They're like seashell pieces. It came out right, like I didn't even know that I was holding on to it, and I put it down right at the center. So it's like, for some of you, there's a lot of emotion. You're going through, like, to me, there's a lot of heavy emotion. Whatever it is that you're doing. I also am hearing some of you may be putting the pieces together for a situation which is very painful. And I don't like to say this, but like this to me is like finding out somebody's cheating, or finding out somebody lied, or finding out like something, is not quite as like it was, you thought it was. And like, it's very painful. And there's a lot of grief and sadness and sorrow around that. Like, I found out somebody was cheating on me for a really, really long time. For like the entire relationship. And when I found that out, it just destroyed, my perspective of what was happening. And destroyed, in some way, it's almost like when you find something out like that, you look back and you go, okay, well, was it all shit? Did it mean anything? Were they lying the entire time? I mean, like, the trust is really broken. Like, and you just go into this place of like grief and non-functioning, and like, why is this happening? I'm seeing that. There is this very sweet message that wants to come through about that. I definitely want to say, and this is going to probably bring out some emotion in me, but I want to say that those of you who may have found out about somebody cheating or somebody lying or something major happening, you may have found out, and it may have been like very devastating. And you might be wondering if they ever really loved you, or if they ever really cared. And I have to say, like, I pulled this charm. It says, I carry your heart within my heart charm. And this charm, to me, it represents, is like validating. It's like validating and saying, like, yes, like, I do believe that they did. I do believe that, yeah, that they loved you, even if they say they didn't. And I do believe that they might have never told you how they really felt, or they might have never told you that they cared so much, or that they cared even at all. For some of you too, you might have a lot of grief over a person who you perceive not to have ever cared or loved you at all. Like, let's just say, like, say this could be like a death of a parent or something, God forbid, or somebody in your life, and maybe they never told you they loved you. Maybe they never told you they cared. Maybe it was like a relationship that didn't have a lot of positive emotion. And you might be like, well, they never cared, and they never. I do believe that they did. And I think that it's just a very strange message. I feel like it's very important to realize, and to realize that people care more than they say, and people love each other more than they say. And to really, really, it's like that saying, tell people you love them. Like, this is a time, this is a time to tell everybody you love them. This is a time to tell people that you love them. Even if you've had been a lot of water under the bridge. Even if they never told you. Even if, like, they acted as if you didn't mean a damn thing. I think, too, those of you who may have found out about something where maybe somebody cheated or lied or whatever, I feel like some of you are still kind of carrying a flame for this person, even if they did lie to you so badly, even if they did cheat on you so much, or even if they may have cheated on you once, it's still like you're carrying a flame for them, like you're carrying a piece of them. Like, I feel like the hard part about this is again, it's going to be emotional, is that there's somebody that's watching that doesn't really want to let go of this person that they have very strong feelings for, or just is maybe moving on, but is like carrying them around a little bit, like carrying a piece of them. And it's funny because I usually see this charm. It's very unusual. I see this charm, and I saw this charm when I lost somebody very close to me. And I usually see it as losing somebody very close to you. But the thing is that today I'm seeing it more as learning from an experience, carrying a piece of somebody, whether they've passed away or not, around in your heart. And it's funny, a friend of mine said, after I lost that very special person, that they had settled into my heart. Like, they could see that it had settled into my heart, that person is very much in my heart. I honestly think that there are people that take up space in our life for the good, and they take up our heart space, and I think it's good that we have those experiences, and I think that there's nothing wrong with it. I do think, like, looking at the healing from stuff, sometimes it's important to clear that away, because they're still taking up space, especially after a long period of time. But I don't feel that right here today in this reading. I feel like in this reading, it's very important to realize that people just care more than they say, and they love more than they say. Even if, let's just say, you had like the worst breakup of all time, or like you had the worst relationship of all time, there's still a piece of their heart that has you in it. It's really beautiful, and it's really unconditional. That's the thing. To me, it has a lot of the vibe of unconditional love. To me, unconditional love is sort of like that energy where you're, like, say somebody passes away, and, like, let's say it's a grandparent or somebody very close, and, like, you still remember what they wore, what they looked like, or what they taught you, and you're still carrying a little piece of them around in you, I definitely feel like there's a lot of emotion in this reading, more so than I've seen in a long time. And I feel like for some of you, you're going through a very emotional time, or there's just a lot of things that maybe you're carrying, It's very interesting. There is this beautiful book, very hard, but very beautiful. I think it's a very famous book, I think, called The Things They Carried. I think it's Timothy something. I don't remember the author. But I remember reading that book, and it just was so poignant, because it's again talking about things that are affecting us, that we carry with us. What is our baggage? What is the things that we learned in relationships? What is it that we want to carry with us? What is it that we want to have in our life going forward? Some of us, I feel like some of you are thinking, or going to be thinking, about your regrets, your mistakes, your transgressions, your cheating, your lying, your imperfections. You're going to be looking very, very closely at yourself, and looking at what your actions have been and what they should have been. Some of you are going to be really looking at, during this period of time, how you contributed to, let's just say maybe a toxic marriage or a toxic boyfriend girlfriend situation, or how you contributed to a painful friendship, or how you contributed to, things that are not healthy. I definitely feel there is something here about kind of facing your shadow, facing your self, and taking ownership for your participation. But I also feel like there's going to be also people that are going to talk about what their ownership is. Because you can't have just one person owning. You have to have another person owning. So I feel like some of you, there's going to be a person that owns their shit. And it might come as a huge surprise or shock to you that they're owning their shit for once. That's what my guides are saying. For once. They're going to be owning their shit. Interesting. Pulled one of my favorites. We've got the marble here also. Very fascinating. Okay, so what I'm getting is there is this charm in here, which I'm not going to show, which is not my favorite. I don't know why I keep it in here, but it came out right after the marble came out. And the marble is unexpected blessing. The marble came out of the downtown community garden, children's garden plot that I took over, that I took the dirt from and saved. And I found marbles in it. And to me, the marble is like an unexpected, beautiful gift or unexpected, beautiful blessing. And right now, the sun is like just coming out from behind the clouds. And so I feel very strongly that there is some kind of unexpected, beautiful blessing. And it's going to come from somebody who is actually very toxic to you, or who was very angry at you, or who was very like almost even bitter or jealous, judgmental, or hateful. Because this charm makes me think of that person that it represents. There's a person that just kind of had a lot of, I don't know, I want to say like bitterness inside them. Like when you get next to a person, you should kind of do like a body scan of where they're holding their stuff. And like this kind of a person, they're holding it like in their gut, like it's very tight. And some of you need to watch out that you're not holding stuff there as well. But it's more of like the blessing's going to come through that person. And that's why it's going to be so unexpected and really, really beautiful. Because you are not going to expect that this person either apologize or they own their shit, or they offer some token of friendship, or offer some token of some kind of token of appreciation, or say something that's just like you're like, wow, I can't believe that person said that to me, because you're just like, wow, you're just not going to expect it at all. Wow. Yeah. Those of you who are being the light for other people, because we have two. We have this little light charm. It says be the light. It's like a little light bulb charm. To hold it a better way so you guys can see it. There we go. It says be the light. And we also have this which to me is like a star locket that came out, which to me is also talks about being the light. So I'm talking to all light workers here. I feel like light workers, if you're a light worker, to me, like these next couple messages are for you. I definitely feel like those of you who are light workers, they're going to be doing a lot of healing work on yourself. It's like that message, healer, heal thyself. Um, and working through your stuff. But I also feel like it's almost as if, okay, there's a couple different messages for the light workers that are coming through. One is I feel like there are things that may have weighed you down recently, but it's not going to be forever. Number one. Number two, because we have the little anchor here, okay? And that's what how that other charm came out. So it's like sometimes being the light for other people is really hard. And I've said this before, and I'll say this again. It's a lot to carry. And that whole going back to that whole the things we carry. It's a heavy load of other people's shit, a lot of people's problems, other people's emotions, other people's toxic relationships, other people's crud. And it's like when you're a light, it's really hard to just say no. To say no because you want to help or be helpful or be kind or be understanding. So I feel like some of you may have felt like it was almost a burden that you didn't want to carry anymore. And some of you, you might actually not, this is going to sound strange, decide that you don't want to be the light anymore in the sense that you don't want to carry other people's stuff. And you might be like saying, okay, how can I either reduce the amount that I'm carrying or of other people's stuff or choose to go in a different direction altogether. Some of you are going to be like choosing a different route in the sense that because we have the arrow for the adventure awaits, and then we also have this piece as well, which is one of my favorite pieces, which is about. So either I feel like the light workers at this time are serving a very important role in the sense that everything that they do is like a calling rather than a must for the collective. But I also feel that for some, this is like maybe deciding, you know what, I'm not going to do my YouTube anymore. I'm not going to do whatever anymore. You're not going to, be so active on social media, or you're not going to be the light for so many people. And I've talked to a lot of light workers who, take it up and then are like, I can't do it because it's too toxic or because it gets to a certain point where it's just not, it's not really functioning or not really worth it. So some of you are going to be making that decision. You're going to be like, do I keep this or do I not keep this? Is this too heavy? Is this not? It's funny because we also got another little starfish here, another little gold starfish. And to me, that's, again, talking about energy, talking about blessings. I feel like light workers also are going to either be tag teaming, where you're going to be teaming up with other light workers, or developing something more where there's more than one light worker. Like maybe you're going to be like, okay, let's try to support each other in this way. And you decide to do that. I don't know how that would be, but I definitely feel like there's more than one light worker charm showing up here. And I feel like for those of you who are light workers also, you might have sacrificed a lot for other people. There might be sacrifices that you have made, personal sacrifices. Some of you are going to be focusing on, I feel like, taking your power back and being like, you know what, I'm not going to sacrifice my entire life for all these other people. Or I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying, sacrifice everything for these other people. Yeah. My guides are also talking about you finding a forever home. I don't know what that means, like later, like when in time, but I feel like some of you are going to find a forever home. Um, those of you who follow me on Instagram, it's very interesting. We have the giraffe stamp here. And I've talked about this giraffe stamp before, which to me is like, to me today it's talking about animal rescue. And I do support a couple of different fundraisers over on Instagram for rescuing horses. I have done fundraisers for Skydog Sanctuary and the 4-H Happy Home animal rescue. So some of you are going to be doing either charity work or like thinking about rescuing animals, or to me, if you don't already have horses, I feel like you're going to have horses. To me, this is working with horses. I also feel like some of you are going to be working with larger animals because the giraffe is like larger animals. So this could be, rescuing some, older, Belgian horses, or Clydesdale horses, or like horses that are larger, I want to say. But they're very chill. To me, the giraffe is very chill. So some of you are going to be working on taking time to rest, taking time to chill, finding your inner chill. It's very interesting. So I pulled the little, I'm going to take, this is interesting. It's very personal to me, but I pulled the little K piece here, and I pulled the little trowel. And this together is talking about digging up carrots, because the K represents my dad's name. And he, in November, every November, would dig up carrots. And one of the last memories I have of him was being happy to dig up his carrots. I don't know how that really is going to be applicable for everybody, but those of you who are, maybe working on your backyard, maybe putting in some, winter vegetables, or trying to clean up, you're doing your yard or something like that, like fall cleanup kind of stuff, winter preparations kind of thing. But to me, the whole digging up carrots brings up a lot of stuff, because that was the last time I saw my dad. And so some of you might be spending quality time with someone that maybe doesn't have a lot of time, or spending quality time with someone that you haven't spent a lot of time with in a very long time. The last piece I want to talk about is one of my favorites, is Everything's Gonna Be Okay, Starfish piece here, which I put in here specifically for that message, for people that needed to hear that everything was going to be okay and that everything was going to be all right. Because at times in our life, it does not seem, there are times it really does not seem where it's going to be all right. But I definitely feel like in this reading, some of you need to hear that. I don't feel like from the overall perspective of this reading, I do not feel that it's like a very challenging energy. Like these are challenging energies. I feel like it's going to be more surprising than challenging. But I also see like there's a lot of emotion here in this reading, so I'd be interested to hear what you guys have to say later down the line in time, I'm going to look at my seeds and see if there's any last little messages. I was going to end, but I think maybe doing some looking at my seeds. I definitely feel like some of you are going to be buying like some sweaters or like winter wear, because there's like this little shell piece that kind of came off one of the seeds. So like maybe buying winter wear, or like, doing one of those things where you change out your wardrobe and you're like, okay, I'm going to put away all this stuff that was summer stuff and I'm going to pull out all the winter stuff. Some of you are going to be decorating already for Christmas. Like, getting a head start on maybe some Christmas shopping. I can't even believe I'm saying that, but like there's all this Christmas stuff out here, so you might be doing that. It just depends on where you live. I definitely feel like some of you are going to be dating multiple people. I also feel like some of you who may have a partner, um, you're going to be like, there's going to be a third party situation. Now, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be you, it could be them as well, or both. I feel like it's mostly a third party where it's like either you or they are going to be cheating during this time. Um, because I was like kind of dropping these little apple seeds, and like you can barely see it, but it's like a little apple seed, and um, and three came to kind of settle. And I definitely feel like if you don't know about that, you probably will be finding out about that later in time. And I do feel like it's probably going to go on for some time. I feel like there's like multiple third party situations as well. Could be boyfriends and girlfriends type situation or husband and wife type situation. It also could be same sex where it's like, you have a male partner and maybe you're cheating on them with a female, or you have a female partner and you're cheating on them with another male. I actually feel like those of you who are in same sex partnerships are actually both cheating. Same sex partnerships are both cheating. So this would be same sex would be like, okay, male, male, and you're both cheating with somebody else. Doesn't have to be both female. It could be like another male, male, or, like if you're a female and you have a female partner, your partner is also cheating with somebody else. But it's same sex for that. And I feel like later in time, as time progresses, there's going to be more, especially if there's any female-female relationships. So like, let's just say you're a female and you're in a relationship to a female. I feel like either you or your partner is going to have multiple female partners that they're cheating with. It's not going to be just one. And either like, I feel like it could be you, but it could also just be them as well. I feel like at least two for same-sex partners. So at least two people that they're cheating on their partner with. And there's at least one, if not two, people that are watching that are in same-sex partnerships that are sleeping with the opposite sex, like in cheating, but also sleeping with another same-sex partner. So let's just say you're male and you're dating other males. Your male partner is cheating on you with another male, potentially also another female. And either you are cheating on your male partner with another male, but also potentially another female. It's very complicated. I don't normally see this, but I see this right now. It's very, very complicated. And I feel like it's mostly male partners. I don't see necessarily the female partners having that much more complicated with the males. Like, it's possible, but I don't think it's likely. Some of you are really trying to figure out where a relationship is going. And this is where I would tell you probably want to book a private reading. I'm seeing like a question mark. Some of you, there might be a lot of stuff up in the air as well, where you're just like, I don't know what's coming. I don't see things clearly. Yeah, it's just like a big question mark. Your life at this time might be kind of a question mark of like a lot of things up in the air. Maybe things aren't set in stone quite yet, My guides are kind of showing me it's really a matter of perspective. And I think I talked about this in one of my other videos, but I watched this older woman and it just blew me away. She had this most beautiful perspective. about lessons in life, And people think in very hard, concrete terms. Like, if I don't have a job now, it's like they think I'll never have one, which is not true. If I'm not eating dinner with them now, then it's like I'm never going to eat dinner again. And that's also not true. And this older woman, I think she was in her 90s. She was a beautiful, beautiful person. And she basically said, if you go through a dry spell, things will get better. If you're unemployed, you'll find a job eventually. It's like things eventually pass. Things eventually change. So let nobody put you in this position of you're what's it called, doomed for failure. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not, okay? Just because things aren't happening in somebody else's time doesn't mean it's never going to happen for you. Again, it's very fascinating because I think in our culture we have people that are come to these conclusions of who you are at this time. They have no clue what you're going to become. They have no clue where life is taking you. They have no bigger picture. They cannot see, the end. And, this is going to sound interesting, but this was a while ago. I had this epiphany. I got a bachelor's degree, so I have a 4-year degree. And it's almost as if people were like, okay, you can stop there now. And even myself, I was like, maybe it's, I don't really want to go on. I had thought about getting the master's, and I still think about getting the master's, but it's not something I have to do at this moment. But it doesn't mean I'll never do it. It doesn't mean I have to do it now. And it doesn't mean that life is over, I'm 41, life is not over, so for some people, life is over by 40, that's it. We're done. And so some of you might have this really weird, limiting perspective of your life being over because something didn't happen, or your life being over because you never went to school, or you have time. And I looked at it and I looked back and I was like, I could have gotten 3 other degrees in this period of time. 3 other degrees, I talked to older people who have 2 or 3 degrees that get later in life. They're 60, 70 years old and they go on to have, either a master's, or they go on to have an additional bachelor's. You're not stuck in the way the culture views you. You're only stuck in the way you view yourself. And, maybe there's not a lot of funding, for people to do everything that they want, but you have time to figure out your life. Who says you have to do it now in this moment? Who says you have to clean up your room at this time? If I'm talking to all adults here, you can clean up your room when it's time to clean up your room for you. You don't need somebody to tell you when it's time. And this goes back a little bit to what we experienced in the pandemic, which was somebody else telling everybody how to live their life. Somebody else telling them when it was time to go pee. Somebody else telling them when it was time to go get something. And that, my friends, is not an energy that's healthy for people, because that takes away their power. And everybody who's in this reading, I'm going to empower, and I'm going to say, it's time to take your power back and be like, I am going to get a degree in my own goddamn time. And I'm going to get married in my own goddamn time. And I'm going to, have kids in my own time. And I'm going to do whatever in your own time, whenever it's good for you. And really give the finger to anybody who's not respectful of that, because that just means that they're not respecting you and your power. And that means they're not respecting your life decisions. And who says you have to explain to anybody what you're making in your life, what you're doing with your life when you decide what's best for you? I feel like a lot of people gave their power away during the last 3 years, and it's time to take your power back. That's what I'm here to tell you. All right. I think this is a great place to leave off. Appreciate all the love and support. Please remember, I am doing my specials, buy one get one free. Please donate if it is all possible. Even if it's just $10, it helps quite a lot. If it's more than that, my whole world spins. Appreciate it a lot. I send everybody big hugs, big kisses. I'll talk to you guys again soon. All right, bye guys. Have a good day, guys.